In our family, we have woven a tradition of sharing our daily highlights during early dinner. A ritual that strengthens our bond while also keeps us updated about each other. Picture one such evening while you're having dinner with your family, scrolling through social media feeds, and you come across a photo. A photo of your friends at a party that you weren't invited. Suddenly, a bang of anxiety hits you. You are not a part of the laughter, the memories being made, and the experiences being created. Your heart is echoing with an unexpected ache, induced not by a medical emergency, but by a social media post. This sudden rush of anxiety is what we know as FOMO, or the fear of missing out. FOMO is more than just the feeling of being left out. It is a pervasive sense that somewhere, somehow, something amazing is happening, and you are not a part of it. Now, this feeling is accelerated with the fast-paced world that social media has created. For example, a treasure trove of curated highlights, reel snippets, and stories of people's lives. The exotic vacations, the luxury meals, and the picture-perfect relationships can all make us feel like our lives are absolutely pale in comparison. But let me tell you something. Those pictures are never the absolute representation of a person's life, and that they never share the true story about a person or their lives. FOMO is as entangling as a spider's web, which is designed to be shiny, to lure and attract. And as insects get closer, they're too late to realize that they are stuck. They struggle more to get out, only to get trapped within even deeper. How many of you have experienced FOMO at some point of time in your life? Raise your hands, please. It's okay. We have all been there. Through this constant barrage of notifications, updates, and messages, the pressure to keep up increases. And at times, it can also be quite overwhelming. Now, this might be shocking. However, according to a study by Eventbrite, 69% of millennials experience FOMO. That's a huge number. But fear not, because we are here not to just discuss the problems, we are here for the solutions. Let us understand the science behind the fear of missing out. FOMO is there because of the bandwagon effect. This basically means that people have a tendency to adopt a certain behavior, style, or attitude simply because others are doing so. As more and more people start doing something, others also hop on the bandwagon to get to a destination that they never wanted to be in. To add more fuel to the already existing inferno, there's what I call the trigger words. Ever heard of words like sale, save, limited time, purchased by X amount of people, recommended by Z person, valued by Y amount of people? All these words have the same impact on our mind as drugs. Many of our indulgences can also be traced back to the subtle influence of FOMO, as the fear of missing out often nudges us towards impulsive purchases, driven by the simple desire of being a part of something exclusive. Now, the same study by Eventbrite also concluded that 60% of millennials make reactive purchases to avoid missing out on events, deals, and opportunities. Can you imagine that? The Homo sapiens of this world are turning into FOMO sapiens, creatures driven by the fear of missing out. We check our phones each day, from the moment we wake up till we go to bed, during meals, and even in the middle of conversations. And the worst part is that no one is safe from this inferno. Well, that brings me to think, are we so compelled to live under the burden of the problems that we created for ourselves? Consider this thought. Just as diamond cuts diamond, iron can cut iron, cutting FOMO with FOMO, a strategy by which we forge our own weapons to dismantle the fear of missing out. But this FOMO is not the one that you're imagining. F, finding intrinsic pleasure. Have you ever found yourself being captivated by what others are doing, only to feel a sense of missing out, only to feel inadequate, only to feel unworthy? Well, this is because the other person loves to do what they do. Like I love to write down and express my feelings. And this makes me forget what other people are doing and helps me tackle FOMO. This is what is known as intrinsic pleasure. Doing the things that we like with all our might makes us forget what other people are doing and helps us tackle FOMO. O, oppose others. The other day, I heard this quote by Emma Stone. What sets you apart can sometimes feel like a burden. And it's not. Because most of the times, that is what makes you great. It is absolutely okay to go against the flow if that means that you can find your own uniqueness. Do not let others take control over your life. Instead, create a life where others hop on your bandwagon. M, minimizing comparisons. In the era of multimedia, fast-paced world, unhealthy comparisons can fuel FOMO. There's a very thin line of difference between a healthy and an unhealthy comparison. And we are living in a reality where we do not embrace our own gifts. Instead, compare them with those that others are given. This eventually causes us to get distracted from our main aim. And thus, minimizing your comparisons would maximize your growth in life. And O, overcome the lure of luxury. The oh-so-perfect luxury life looks so good, right? Well, let me tell you, it is just a bait set by advertisers to use the trigger words and human psychology to sell off their products, often disguising luxury as perfection. Thus, we must acknowledge that it is a bait and should focus on improving ourselves. And that's how you cut FOMO with FOMO. My dear friends, tackling FOMO is the biggest decision that you can make in this 21st century, because FOMO is, will, and was the biggest productivity killer of this modern era. Thank you.